everyone. This is Claudia Mostaghasi with the Real Talk with Claudia Mostaghasi, and I have Hillary Jackson with me today. This is her first time on a podcast, and I'm like, it's my first time too. So you don't. I forget the name of the podcast. I sometimes forget my name. So next week is Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Have you bought the turkey yet?
No. Oh,
I have
gosh,
not
no.
bought the
I'm
turkey
always
either.
super last minute. I have no business hosting Thanksgiving at my house, but we do it anyway. So,
So they're coming, everybody's coming to your house?
Yes, they're coming. The in-laws are not feeling so great. So they'll stay back at home in Canyon Lake and we'll be here. Yeah.
That's cool. My family's coming this year too. So I have a lot to cook.
Fun.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking of frying a turkey. I don't know how that's
a really good idea. If you do it right, it's really good.
They
really
said
tasty.
that it's like 35, 45 minutes, like that it's super fast.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll see what I can do. So the reason why I invited Hillary to this episode is because, Thanksgiving is coming. Christmas is coming around too. And, we forget sometimes to think about how blessed we are. We have, our kids. I feel like every Christmas gets harder to even buy presents because they have throughout the year, you give them so much that, Christmas is like, okay, like
just
what else
another
can you
time.
buy them? Right. Like, so, Hillary is part of a nonprofit organization that, I've been trying to look into and learn more about it. So that's why I brought her over. So can you tell us about what's the name of the organization?
Yes. And thank you for bringing me on. I'm always happy to share more about Foster Angels and our work and what we do, but we are a small local nonprofit. We reach thousands of children in foster care. But our mission is to ensure that children in foster care in South Texas have their basic needs met. And then we also provide life enriching and life enhancing opportunities for them whenever possible. And so our program addresses the needs of children from birth to age 22 or when they age out of the foster care system.
Which is at what time?
Either 18 or they can stay in extended care and that will go till 22. But they do have to be enrolled in school full time or working full time in order to stay. But, at that time, they're older, they're going into adulthood and they don't have any family. They have little to no support. Many of them have been in the system for so many years. They don't have the skills and tools necessary, to live a productive adult life. So we help them. We service 19 counties in and around South Texas. And we've been around for 24 years, so we're well established.
Who founded it?
So a man named Ted Oakley, who's still around today. He grew up and had a hard time in poverty and now has become very successful. And he literally showed up on Child Protective Services door. He knocked on their door and said, I want to help. What can I do? And the rest was history. Foster Angels was born back in 1999. We've helped over 42,000 children here in South Texas since then. And how our program works is year-round, we work very closely with Child Protective Services. Every child that's in foster care has to have a caseworker through CPS. So we work with them. We work with multiple CASAs throughout the counties that we serve, several foster placing agencies, universities and colleges like TAM-UCC and A&M Kingsville. And so we work together to be able to provide resources that create a sense of belonging and normalcy at a time that can be very isolating in a child's life. Because, when a child enters the foster care system, their quality of life really starts to diminish like right away. They're wearing the same dirty clothing for days at a time. They're sleeping on floors and couches. Many of them have never celebrated their birthday or, had the chance to take art classes or dance lessons or swimming lessons. And so we just want to be able to give that to them and create a positive shift in their lives.
So when do you guys actually come into play? So let's say a kid gets taken away from their family or the parents, put into CPS.
Yes. So it goes through an investigation first. And then when it's deemed that, okay, these children need to be removed from the home and placed in a foster home or with, great grandma or family member, that's where we step in.
Okay.
And so we have a daily request program. And so all the agencies that I just mentioned and foster parents and caregivers and even older foster youth can go on our website and fill out a request form. So it's like easily accessible for children who need our help.
And what do you usually see that they request for?
So we will receive, requests will range from the most basic of needs. So food, new clothing, beds to keep siblings together, because that's another barrier. Children get removed from their home and it's a sibling group of 3 or 4, and
it's hard to place them all
together. So they need beds is always kind of like the number one thing that they need. So basic needs, and then to educational support like technology, laptops, tutoring, to therapeutic and medical needs. So therapy, we've done braces, we've done cranial helmets, because a lot of these children are born, positive for drugs. Mom was taking drugs. And so they've got, some issues going on with their facial asymmetry and stuff. And then we'll also help with adoption fees, transportational needs, gas cards and car seats and strollers, and then those normalcy activities.
So to help the foster parents where they're being
the foster
placed.
Parents or the caregivers, which is called a kinship home. And the kinship families, they're the ones who really need a lot of support, because your family, your grandma's just going about her day and then she gets a call that says, hey, you need to get the kids. Well, grandma doesn't have the funds to do that. Right. They're not receiving any benefits from the state, and even foster parents, the foster care reimbursement rate is very inadequate. It's not enough. Yeah. These children, we want to just give them the same opportunities as our children have, as your children have,
every children deserves that. So how do you fund your organization? How is it funded?
We run off of grants from foundations and corporations and individuals, donations, and we have a really great community, so we're able to do that
to help the community. Do you guys have like annual fundraisers? Do you have a big fundraiser per year, or like several of them? Or
yep, we do. We have 2 fundraisers. In April, we have Party with a Purpose, and that's more of a fun, relaxed, drink your beers and your burgers. It's at the surf club. And we have bands play. We have a silent auction, and then we charge a small fee to enter. It's a really fun night. And then we also have an annual luncheon every September. And we'll usually have a keynote speaker who grew up in the foster care system, and has become successful. We also honor, we call them our angel honorees. And so we'll have around 5 foster youth who have really, they exhibit high character, they've overcome adversity, they're doing well in their lives. And so we'll honor them and share their stories at our luncheon as well.
Cool. I think this year I missed it. I know I sent somebody because I was out of town.
Yes, it was in September.
Yeah, I was out of town or something that I couldn't attend. So then I heard about, just a little parenthesis, I actually helped a lady, a very sweet lady, and she was a foster mom and by herself, and she had 2 girls, and they were siblings, and we helped them actually buy a house.
Oh,
so
my
she
gosh.
bought a house, and then later she was like, guess what? Because she came back and she was like, I just got the adoption papers. So she actually adopted the 2 girls. It was so sweet. We met them, and she actually upgraded the house. So we helped her a second time around. So Tracy, if you're seeing me, I applaud you for that. Yeah, no, and the girls are so sweet. They will always come and say hi to me. And there's a big, I think, will you say that you see much more of a need more than like babies and stuff, like with older kids?
Absolutely. You could post a picture of a baby and say, this baby needs a home, and you're going to get a million phone calls for that baby. But the older, these kids get, their
harder.
chances of being adopted and finding their forever family, they just diminish like each year that they have a birthday.
That is
So,
just so sad.
mhm.
So tell me about the what you guys do for Christmas. I heard
So,
that you guys have
it's a really good segue because we do focus on the teens that are in foster care because they oftentimes get left out a lot. It's easy to, the little ones, they love toys and really anything you get them. But the older ones, many of them have never had a real Christmas. They've never been able to give their list to mom or dad, just like our kids do. And so we will fulfill wish lists for over 100 teens.
local.
Yes. And we do help Laredo and
that's right,
McAllen.
because you
Yes,
said
we do.
it's all
Yes.
around.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's well over 100. And so we'll focus on the teenagers. We ask them exactly what they want. If please be honest with us, if you could ask for anything, and we fulfill the wish list. And our community's great every year. We receive sponsors. They do purchase everything on their list, and the kids are just, they look and they're just like, I did not think I was going to get this Xbox, right. Or, you know what I mean? They're used to just getting kind of hand-me-downs or things that somebody else picks. So it's really personable. It's my favorite drive that we do.
And when do you start that?
It started.
It started already?
It's never too early to start. We like to post them out early just to give everyone enough time and take advantage of the Black Friday deals. Right. So our lists are out on our website.
So you have them on your website, and then you just go and you pick somebody. I mean, is there the names of the kids, or how does it work?
So it's really neat. We set it up so it's really easy to navigate, and so it'll take you straight to the page, and it's all these little gift boxes, and it's got the child's name in each one, and you can click on it and it'll give you just a short description about them, and then their wish list, and then the amount. So you could even filter by amounts of the wish list.
And do you guys go and deliver this, or how does the give
so
the gifts, do you guys take them to the kids directly? The
distribution. So the caseworkers will pick them up from us because they're the ones that do the home visits and visit with the children. But we do ask that the sponsors drop off all the gifts unwrapped, just so we make sure that it is everything on the list that the kids want. And then we have volunteers who wrap them, and then the caseworkers will distribute them to the families.
Cool. So I'm going to put the link to your website.
Okay.
When we post it. This episode is going to go live on Friday. So, no, today is Friday. Are we supposed to pretend that we're live? No.
Oh, well, today is Tuesday, but when you're hearing this, it'll be Friday.
So we'll put it on Friday, and then I'm actually going to throw a challenge right there, because I know a lot of the people that see me. So I'm going to adopt or do 5 kids.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
So I want to do 5 kids, and then I'm going to invite Gino and Lisa and Missy and Brent and who else? The Brassingtons and
keep going.
Annie, Aide, Cindy Bueno, Janelle. I mean, everybody that is listening to, all my past clients or my current clients that are on Facebook to click and get 1 kid. Because honestly, it's funny that you said they've never turned in a list. We were laughing because my 19-year-old in college texted me the other day, and he said what is the deadline for my Christmas list wish? And I'm like, what? No.
Not happening.
He said yes, I need to write my list for Santa. And I'm like, you're 19, there's no Santa, but she's still trying to throw in the guest list, the wish list.
The wish list.
Yeah. No, hopefully we can make a difference to these kids. I know it's really hard. And like I said, I mean, we're blessed to
Mhm.
be and have your kids, and then you see your kids, they wake up every day, even though sometimes they get in your nerves and you wanna put them on
Yeah.
the patio, but you don't. I have another joke. I remember when I got divorced the first time, like I was tickling my my little one, and we were like just like playing, and she didn't want to be tickled anymore, so she was like, "Mom, I'm gonna call child support," instead of
Ugh.
like saying child protective services. And I was like,
Listen, I have a friend that's
"Le-
there,
yeah,
so
yeah."
go
I'm
ahead.
like, let's call child support. Maybe I'll get an increase in child support. And I'm like, I'm with you. I'll call with you. But so when do you start being involved with Foster Angels, and
Oh my
what's your
gosh.
role there?
So I'm the executive director now. I've been involved with Foster Angels almost 11 years.
Oh, wow.
I started working there in college, like super part-time. And I did that for 5 years and left. We moved to California. I had my kiddos, my family and I were there for 2 years. And then I came back in 2017
Because your
and
husband is military?
he was Border Patrol.
Border
He
Patrol.
left, but he's not in Border Patrol anymore. But
Oh, he's not in Border Patrol
no,
anymore.
no, not anymore. That's a whole nother can of worms to open. But yes, so his job did take him there or take us there. And I came back, and I couldn't deny my passion for the kids and.
So you just went back into it, and
Mhm,
they were like,
mhm.
"We're
It
waiting for
was
you."
like perfect timing as I came back. The executive director was leaving, and so it just kind of worked perfectly.
Perfect. That's
Yes, yeah.
good. So you're in charge to oversee the program.
Yes, and we have a really great team. We're a small team. We've got a development director, Trista McGinnis, who's here in Corpus. We have a part-time program coordinator, Ariel, and then we have a full-time Rio Grande Valley director in McAllen.
Do you guys do anything else like site visits, or you just like wait for somebody to actually ask for the help and then you guys put it all together, or how?
Yes. So that form I was telling you about earlier,
Mhm.
we receive requests every day, a daily basis. I mean, I would say on average 50 a week. And then there's those certain times of the year where it's just
worse?
more. Yeah.
Oh,
Like back
really?
to school and right now, because these needs, they don't go away. You know, they're the ongoing needs with inflation being the way it is.
What happened when it was COVID? Do you see like an increase on cases? Or
Yes,
anything like
well,
that?
we did see an increase in those basic needs. But fortunately, we really didn't have to pivot too much during COVID because our processes and procedures are so streamlined. You know,
That you didn't have to.
yeah, nothing was, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We
Mhm.
just kept doing our everyday work. So yeah, I mean, we did see an increase. And I think because the community knew that we did those basic needs, they were so willing to give
To
during
help.
COVID. Mhm.
What are some other nonprofits in town that you partner up with? Because I know, like, I'm very big. I'm actually on the board of the Children Advocacy Center.
Oh, okay. Children Advocacy Center. Okay. We partner with BCFS, which also help at-risk youth. We partner with
Boys, that's the Boys and Girls Club.
No,
BC?
BCFS. I'm not quite sure what their acronym stands for, but
Okay.
they do help older youth,
Older.
at-risk youth. Yes. Foster placing agencies like Circles of Care, A World for Children, Agape Harbor, Upbring, Agape Ranch, the universities that I mentioned. And then that's just here locally. The CASA's here. And then there's children's homes in the Valley and in Laredo, pretty much any agency that works directly one-on-one with the kids.
So if somebody wants to put, like, say, a care package or something to donate, would you say that it's better just to donate the money, or what items do you guys receive that you're like, yeah, we can hold it? I mean, do you guys have like a stock room where you guys put it, or
Not really.
how
We
does
do
that
have an
work?
office space. And we'll only accept brand new items. It's the policy
Right.
that Child Protective
Brand new,
Services
right.
has. So we align with that. And yeah, I guess it just depends. If somebody calls and says, hey, I have like a brand new bed or a brand new mattress, we do have space. We can
To
hold it,
take it.
to
Okay.
take it, and we can find a family that needs
And
it.
if not, it's just better to do monetary. And
Yes.
you kind of like have the money there to buy the
Mhm.
stuff that you need. Okay.
Yes, because like I said, every day these are coming in.
And it's
so
just like different stuff.
it's all circumstantial.
So again, foster angels. So they have a list of kids that are needing help for Christmas. And I'm going to tell you, to all the parents out there, I actually started this tradition with my girls probably when they were like 5 and 3, or I mean, Alexa was little. And what I used to do is, one of my aunts, she worked for Avance, which is like a, like a daycare type of thing, like for like families that, like younger moms.
Okay.
And they teach them, give them classes and stuff like that. And then I reached out to her and I said, well, I need to adopt a family. So she would ask who needed help and all that. And there's families that they didn't even have a Christmas tree for Christmas. And I would take my girls first shopping for them. The same thing. What always got my attention was that you tell them like, okay, write a list of what you want. And it was always like socks and clothes and
general
tennis shoes, like all those. I mean, these were the kids. So I started doing that, and that really helped me ground my kids, like ground them down to like, okay, look, like, I mean, you have a lot, and let's go into these, because they would go and deliver gifts and everything. I remember the first house that we went, the very first time they didn't have a Christmas tree, and the girls were like, but Santa is not going to come because they don't have Christmas tree. And we went to Walmart, bought the Christmas tree, brought it back, put the Christmas tree, and it just makes a little difference. But to all the parents out there, I think it's important for all our kids and our youth, I mean, to understand that not everybody is as blessed as they are.
Right.
And that giving a little bit to those in need like goes a long way. So we're going to put the link there so you guys can tap in it. And then let's see who does more than 5. Or you can team up and then do more than 5, but I want to do 5. So
yeah, and I mean, like I said, these wish lists, I mean, we ask these kids, I say kids, but teenagers, please put on their, your complete wish list. And a lot of times you come together, your office comes together and sponsors 1 or 2. I mean, anything helps. And I remember, I will share this, I think it was 2 years ago. We had a college student and she asked for a whole bunch of SpongeBob, like a SpongeBob blanket and a SpongeBob pillow. And we thought, okay, she just likes SpongeBob. And so, she gets everything on our list. We actually did take this to her, and she's crying and she's like, I have been asking for a SpongeBob blanket since I was 8 years old and I've never gotten it, And so for these kids, it's like you said earlier, these are the only gifts they're probably going to receive all year long. So that's why we do want to make sure if they want the size 8 black Ugg boots, we want to make sure that they get those. Yeah.
And just have to do one. That's a really good idea. I mean, you can get in the office and just kind of like do an item or
everybody pitches in.
Raise some money there and then go and buy stuff. I know that somebody told me that you can also just donate the total because you guys total more or less
or
the
that
prices.
Too. Yeah, because people are busy. We understand that. So we want to give everybody a couple of options. You could go out and purchase the items yourself, or you can make the donation and then a staff member or experienced volunteer can shop for you.
Awesome. So foster angels. And then just to wrap it up, I'm going to put Hillary on the spot. So I didn't start the interview saying that she actually was my client.
Oh, yes.
I helped her with her mortgage loan.
You did.
And then in Easter, you won the TV.
I did. Yeah, we did win that.
It was at the Easter hunt with the Montalvos. And I remember you right now, and I said, because your name clicked, and then when I saw, I was like, oh, that's the chick that was wearing
the hat. Was I wearing my hat?
Yes, you were
Okay,
wearing the
I was
hat,
wearing a
and
hat.
I was like, and she won the TV. So, you already went through the process. What is 2 things that you recommend people that are going to buy a house?
Oh my gosh.
Like just like from what you can, remember. And it doesn't have to be mortgage related. I mean, just 2 things that you would say, oh my God, if somebody would have had told me this before I went into that.
I mean, I think, oh man, this is hard. This was my first time buying a home, with my name on the lien
papers.
as well. Obviously getting your finances in order and, making sure your credit was good. Which fortunately mine was, because I did not know, I didn't understand the whole process and there's so much back and forth that it entails and gathering all the data. So, I mean, I guess I would say that. I don't know. You did put me on the spot.
I know.
I'm terrible. I am so
I gave
terrible.
her the debrief of everything that I was going to ask, but I didn't tell her I was going to say anything about
the mortgage. I don't know. It's a hard question.
So all your details. So it's funny how you said, like, I didn't know how my credit was. So you really didn't check your credit before.
No, I didn't. Maybe my husband probably did and was like, for sure, let's move forward with it. But I really didn't.
So I think that would be one of the recommendations that we will say is people have to verify how your credit, because these could have had turned into completely different stuff.
Right.
Like if your credit weren't being there, and sometimes a husband can still qualify by itself, but you guys have to remember that in Texas, it's a community property state. So whatever debt that the wife has belongs to the husband and vice versa.
What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine.
Unless it's money. Their money's ours.
Yeah.
Ours is ours. So it does not apply with that, guys. But but no, yeah, I remember we did it. Actually, I think that you guys were still on the move.
Yeah. And I guess that was another thing is we just didn't think we would be able to do it. We had maybe talked about it and we're just like, no, we're kind of stuck in this house for a really long time. And it was just one phone call and it was like, oh, wow, we can do this.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really realize. We thought, no way.
And that happens a lot to people too, because they actually get afraid of the no. Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to remember. I mean, if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. But if you did try, I mean, you never know. I mean, if it's not a yes right away, it might just be a how. So you might not be able to do it right now, but you can do it later on. So, well, thank you so much for coming and joining us. I was very interested in learning more about foster angels. I think, like I said, it's a really good cause. And I'm all about staying local. So we're going to help some local children here. And don't forget to click on the link so that you can pick your kiddo that you're going to sponsor for this Christmas. Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you. Thank you so much.